Hey, this is Larry Osborne again. We're talking about church governance and how to have a healthy team. And in particular, in this video, I want to continue our thoughts on guarding the gate. Because I know that some of you are thinking this, well, if I'm supposed to guard the gate against the inflexible person, if I'm supposed to guard the gate against the spiritual watchdog, how in the world do I do that? And for some of you, you've even got a church polity that doesn't allow you to be a part of that process. So by way of description, not prescription, I'm going to tell you a little story about how I worked around that, and hopefully it can open your eyes to some things you can do. At the end of the day, here's what was going on in my mind when I first came to North Coast Church and realized that I was not allowed by our bylaws to be a part of what they called the nominating committee. I realized that if I just advocated that responsibility and let our bylaws say other people are going to make these choices, that I was going to get saddled with some people that were going to be a nightmare. And either I would completely lose or they'd get all upset and they would leave the church and they would take their friends with them. It's just not a very pretty picture. Well, here's what hit me. I might as well get involved in the process anyway. So I went to the team and said, hey, I know I can't vote, whatever, but can I just be in the meeting? And there was no bylaw that said I couldn't be there as a guest. And then I kind of gathered up the courage to go ahead and speak out when a couple of people were nominated who I knew would eventually be a nightmare and that I would not work well with them. And here's what was going through my mind. I figured that later on I'd have all this conflict and they'd leave or I leave. Why not have it on the front end? And because that's really the only risk of speaking up that I had. The word would get out and they would find out that I was trying to blackball them or I blackballed them in my attempts to guard the gate and make sure we had the right people on the team. It was a good choice. In my case, word did not get out. But even had it gotten out, it's far better to deal with those issues on the front end rather than when they are on or in your governance team. Guard the gate. Find some way, no matter how creative you have to be a part of that process. Because if you don't have the guts to speak up on the front end, you should not ever complain on the back end. Hey, if you found this helpful, subscribe and we'll keep getting these videos out to you.